गुलाब सिंह जी का जन्म हुआ था 21 अक्टूबर को, और इसी महीने में 22 अक्टूबर को पाकिस्तान की तरफ से जम्मू कश्मीर के ऊपर हमला किया गया और हमारी रियासत को दो हिस्सों में बांट के हमें उस त्रासदी से गुजरना पड़ा जिसको याद करके आज भी हमारी रूह कांप जाती है। पाकिस्तान जो 1947 में हमारी रियासत को हड़प करने के लिए एक साजिश के तहत जम्मू कश्मीर के ऊपर उसने जो हमला किया और उसकी जो उसने स्ट्रेटजी अपनाई कि पहले उसने सिविल में कबाइलियों के नाम से यहाँ पे अपनी फ़ौज को भेजा और बाद में उसके रेगुलर फ़ौज जो थी वो जम्मू कश्मीर के ऊपर हमला करने में जो थी वो शामिल हो गई। आज अगर हम 68 साल के बाद भी देखते हैं तो वही स्ट्रेटजी उनकी 68 साल में चल रही है और वह जम्मू कश्मीर को हड़प करने की साजिशें आज भी रच रहे हैं। तो हमारा जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों का हिंदुस्तान की सरकार से आग्रह है कि वो 1994 का पार्लियामेंट रेजोल्यूशन जो है उसको लागू करें और पाकिस्तान के कब्जे में जो हमारा क्षेत्र है गिलगित बाल्टिस्तान और पाक ऑक्युपाइड जम्मू कश्मीर जो है उसको खाली करवाएं। अब मैं पुष्पिंदर, आप सभी का यहाँ पे स्वागत करते हुए इतना ही कहूँगा। तो अभी मैं पुष्पिंदर जी से रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ कि आए और स्टेज को संभालें।
हमारे जम्मू यूनिवर्सिटी से एचओडी हिस्ट्री
It was also planned and organized by the Pakistan Army under leadership of Muslim Ajaat to save their dignity and honor. No doubt, Maharaja wanted to preserve, save his throne also. They approached government of India on 24th of October and virtually signed a standstill agreement on 24th of October, which you have seen one of the political secretary of the Prime Minister of India, Prem Shankar Jha, has written in his account that on 24th of October, Maharaja signed this instrument of accession, which was discussed in the Cabinet Committee headed by Pandit Nehruji, but it was refused. The accession to India by J&K state, it was refused on 24th of October, and subsequently Maharaja signed it on 26th of October, and he requested V.P. Menon, who was accompanying, and he requested him that now this instrument accession should not be placed before Nehru, rather it should be placed before Mountbatten, who was chairman of Defence Council of India. And J&K state succession, it's an exception. You had 562 states, 561 states exceeded, those exceeded, the states which acceded to India, these their instrument accessions had been discussed and accepted by the Cabinet Committee headed by Pandit Nehru. But J&K is the only state whose accession was accepted by the Mountbatten in the capacity of Chairman of Defence Council of India. So this is how on 26th of October the state acceded to India and became an integral part of India. However, after accession of J&K state to India, it has remained much debated and most controversial issue ever since among diplomats, public men, statesmen, historians, among everybody. And when they discuss this state succession to India, most often I have seen it has rather become a fashion to accuse Maharaj Hari Singh that he was a villain. And what is their accusation? That he didn't accede to India before 15th of August 1947. The person who was clamoring for Indian Federation and was claiming that most of the princely states of India would accede to India if it is made a federation. And virtually he was the person who gave this concept of Federation of India in the Round Table Conference somewhere in 1930 and 1931, where he declared two of his speeches, very historical speeches, emotional speeches are there. So what happened in 1947 that people started accusing him that he was the person who was deliberately delaying accession, he was asserting independence, he was doing this, he was doing this. So all accusation has been there, and I, being a student of history, I started this study that a person who was a very patriot in 1931, what happened to him in 1947. And for this, I have to study few factors, geographical factors, economical factors, political factors, demographic factors. So I have minutely assessed all these factors. And among the demographic factor, you might be knowing that in the state had, according to census figure of 1941, the state had a Muslim majority, and the Muslim majority was 77.11% Muslims. And all the three provinces of the state had a Muslim majority, including Jammu. Though it has a thin majority, Muslim majority, what it was, Muslim majority. And moreover, if you go by the geographical, which had been one of the compulsion that the Muslim majority and the contiguous area would form state of Pakistan. It was more closer to Pakistan, it was contiguous also, and a Muslim majority. That way it should have clearly gone to Pakistan. What it was, the other geographical factors, if you see that you had three national highways linking your India via Pakistan. So all your three national highways, your Jammu Valley Road, your Chakandabad Road, your Jammu Sialkot Road, your one railway system which links your Jammu Sialkot, it too passed into Pakistan like your other three national highways. You had three rivers. You have Singh, Jhelum, Chenab, all rivers opened up to in Pakistan. You had two passes, both the passes opened up into Pakistan. At least you require one route to exceed your state to India. So you had not even a single road link between Jammu and Kashmir and India. So Maharaj was thinking to link, construct this road from Satwari to Madhopur. What it was, a rainy season was at peak in the month of July and August. It was not possible. One of the chief engineers, Mr. Suri, was called by Maharaj Hari Singh. He was asked, and he expressed his inability that since it's a rainy season, so road could not be constructed before 15th of August. So Maharaja deployed his army and borrowed one boat bridge from India to be placed on Ravi to have a link. So this was the geographical scenario. You had economically, the state was dependent from all the supplies via these routes which had fallen under occupancy of Pakistan. So it was not possible for Maharaj Hari Singh to just jump over the conclusion of accession before 15th of August. He was a responsible man. He had to taken care of to ensure food security, clothes, petrol, sugar, everything in Kashmir. So it was not possible just to jump over the conclusion. And you, if you go by, you see the market of people of Jammu, it was Lahore. The port used by people of Jammu and Kashmir, it was Karachi, not Bombay. So if you analyze political scenario, you will see there had been 2-3 political parties in Jammu and Kashmir. There was no consensus of opinion among these political parties. So what to do? Had Maharaja acceded to India, the Muslims might have revolted. Had he gone to Pakistan, the Hindus might have revolted. So it was a very precarious position, critical situation under which it was very difficult to jump over the conclusion of. Rather, these factors prevented Maharaja. So even I have seen that at this critical time, the role of national conference, their voice was not heard anywhere. Obviously, they had denounced two-nation theory. That may be one of the reasons that it is not going to accede to Pakistan. And a Muslim conference was divided into various factions. One faction was led by Mirwais of Kashmir, other faction was led by Chaudhry Hamidullah of Jammu. And Chaudhry Hamidullah expressed his support to Maharaja Hari Singh that you be a constitutional and independent ruler of nobody can touch your hair. So the person was dismissed by the Muslim Conference of Kashmir that he is pro-Maharaja and he is a traitor. In the meantime, the recognition to Hamidullah was given by Muslim League from Punjab that he is our representative. So both factions in Kashmir and Jammu, they were issuing contradictory and conflictual, rather very confusing statements. And further, Muslim Conference changed its earlier stand when earlier they supported. They asked Maharaja to be a constitutional and independent ruler. Now, in the month of August and September, they changed their earlier stand and they passed a resolution, submitted it to Maharaja, requesting him to accede to Pakistan since this is the only option. And we had 2-3 parties in India. CPI was one of them. It was clamoring that accession is of no value. Rather, referendum should be conducted, which was not possible since the entire subcontinent was in a communal frenzy. It was fire. So it was not possible to ascertain view of the people concerning accession. Rather, there was no movement in the state like other states concerning accession. The Muslim League, headed by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he was happy that Maharaja was not acceding to India at least. So he was a constitutional lawyer and he could appreciate the act of Indian independence where it had given the authority to the princes, be he a Nawab, prince or anybody, that they are the sole authority, and Jinnah appreciated that Maharaja is the only authority in J&K state to decide over the issue of accession. Rather, Congress was little reluctant. Right from very beginning, if I analyze the role of Congress, it didn't like to contest Pakistan over the issue of J&K state. Perhaps it thought that J&K is a detached part of India. Rather, having J&K may not cost them Hyderabad and Junagadh. So, rather they, on various occasions I have seen they encouraged Maharaja to accede to Pakistan. It may be very surprising to most of you, but if you go by the attitude of the Congress, let me clear. In the month of May 1947, Acharya J.V. Kiplani, he came to Kashmir, met with Maharaja. He was talking otherwise. Maharaja was surprised to analyze his view that he was rather indirectly encouraging him to accede to Pakistan since topography, population, contiguity, it all favored the state territory too. So, Maharaja was surprised. Then came the turn of Mountbatten. Mountbatten came on 1st of June and had a company of Maharaja for 3-4 days and various meetings, and he wanted to ascertain Maharaja's views concerning accession, very particular on accession, and Maharaja told him that on final day, 4th day, he will open his card on accession. And Mountbatten also encouraged him. Mountbatten went a step forward than Acharya Kiplani. He had brought an assurance from Home Minister of India, Sardar Patel, that if he acceded to Pakistan, government of India would not find it an unfriendly act. So it was, Mountbatten was encouraging Maharaja to accede to Pakistan. So on 4th day when he wanted to meet Maharaja pretended that he is suffering from colic, पेट दर्द है उसको वो नहीं मिलेगा. Then Mountbatten also pleaded that he should be allowed to उसका हालचाल जानने के लिए मुझे जान दे. Even कहा गया कि doctor has not allowed him to meet anybody. So Mountbatten went empty-handed. Then comes Gandhiji in the month of August. Gandhiji came, he could not meet Sheikh Abdullah. He met Begum Abdullah along with other Kashmiri leaders, and when he asked these Kashmiris and Begum Abdullah that whether they have made up their mind to accede to either of the dominion, so Begum said, yes, we have made up our mind to accede to India. So it was a surprise to Gandhiji. So Gandhiji thrisely repeated whether you have seriously thought over the issue of accession. So Begum said yes. Then again and again he asked. So it seems that Kashmiri, Indian leadership, especially Congress leadership, didn't like to contest Pakistan. They had apprehensions that if they are going out and out for J&K state succession, it may cost them Hyderabad and Junagadh. So that seems to be the only reason on which Congress was flickering here and there. So, I have seen a little earlier Congress Working Committee's resolutions on state, 15th June, 15 June 1947 को दिल्ली का resolution है, where it was resolved in the Congress Working Committee that the will of the ruler is not important for Congress. what important for Congress is the will of the people of Kashmir. So that way, it was not appreciating, rather anyway acknowledging the Indian Independence Act, which claimed that only rulers are, we he a Nawab or a Maharaja, they are the only authority to exceed their states to any dominion, either of the dominion, where either India or Pakistan. So, in the subsequent years, you might have seen then accession was accepted, condition was laid, while formally there was one communication, single line communication to the state government by Mountbatten, that I do hereby accept this instrument of accession. This is the only formal communication between J&K state and the government of India. While a condition to induct Sheikh Abdullah at the head of the emergency administration, it was laid down by the Congress leadership. Then the emergency administrator was converted into the Prime Minister of J&K state on 5th of March 1948. Then to top it all, you might have seen the elections of Constituent Assembly, where National Conference bagged 75 seats out of 75 seats in the Assembly. The government of India remained mere a mute spectator. It never challenged that these elections are rigged, and it maintained a criminal silence. And thereafter, you might have seen that attitude of Congress. It never contested Pakistan government. And if you go in, you see the truce agreement when it was signed. Nowhere an opportunity was given to the army officers. Both the governments concluded this truce agreement on 1st of January 1949, and it fell on the army officers like a missile. They were nowhere consulted. They were rather waiting that some snow should melt and they should reoccupy the vital positions like Haji Pir, Kargil Heights, then Shamp we had lost. So no time was given to our army officers. Rather, I have met with various officers of those years, and they always accused government of India that since our positions had been occupied by Pakistan army, and we were not told, had we informed about this truce agreement that it is going to be concluded on 1st of January, we could have rescued these Haji Pir, Kargil Heights and Sham from Pakistan army, which ultimately we were able to rescue in 1965. So this is the Congress attitude where I give full stop to. Thank you, JK Unity Foundation, for organizing this, and thank you.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया प्रोफेसर शैलेंद्र जी। अभी आपके सामने विचार रखने के नेशनल पैंथर्स पार्टी के स्टेट प्रेसिडेंट और
जी देवेंद्र गुप्ता जी, जेके यूनिटी फाउंडेशन की ओर से, और हमारे अजात शत्रु जी जो इसके चेयरमैन हैं, हर साल इस दिन को ब्लैक डे के तौर पे इसको मनाया जाता है यहाँ जम्मू के अंदर। और ये वाकई ये दिन हमारे जम्मू कश्मीर के इतिहास के लिए वाकई एक काला दिवस है। और सिर्फ 22 अक्टूबर 1948 की बात नहीं, उसके बाद लगातार इन्वेडर्स हमारी स्टेट के ऊपर, हमारे जम्मू कश्मीर में, चाहे वो कश्मीर प्रोविंस का एरिया हो, चाहे हमारा जम्मू प्रदेश का एरिया हो, लगातार पाकिस्तान की तरफ से जम्मू कश्मीर के ऊपर हमले पे हमला, चाहे उसको सीज फायर वायलेशन कहें, चाहे इन्फिल्ट्रेशन कहें, चाहे हमारी रियासत के अंदर यहाँ के नौजवानों को गुमराह करके यहाँ पे किसी ना किसी तरीके से इस रियासत में अमन और चैन हमारे लोगों का छीने। तो लगातार 1947 से लगातार ये दिन और पूरी रियासत में इस तरीके का माहौल जो बना, जिसकी वजह से आज पूरी रियासत और पूरी रियासत का खासकर युवा एक दिशाहीन हो गया, डायरेक्शनलेस हो गया। पर हम ये गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया से ये क्वेश्चन करना चाहते हैं, क्या बात है कि 47 से पहले जब महाराजा का वक़्त था, उस वक़्त का एरिया हम रियासत जम्मू कश्मीर का देखें और आज का देखें, कितना एरिया हमारा पाकिस्तान के पास, कितना चाइना के पास आज हमारा रियासत जम्मू कश्मीर का एरिया है। और जबकि हमारी हिंदुस्तान की सरकार एक बहुत बड़ा मुल्क है, बहुत बड़ी आर्मी है, उसके बावजूद हमने रियासत जम्मू कश्मीर जो महाराजा के वक़्त का जम्मू कश्मीर था, उसे लगभग आधे के करीब, आधे से ज़्यादा हमने एरिया चाइना, पाकिस्तान हमारे से हत्या गया, हमसे छीन लिया गया। तो आज जब डोगरों की बात आती है, डोगराज की बात आती है, तो रियासत जम्मू कश्मीर की सरकार हो या केंद्र की सरकार हो, उसको नॉन सीरियसली लिया जाता है। लेकिन हम ये कहना चाहते हैं, केंद्र सरकार को भी यहाँ से मैसेज देना चाहते हैं कि रिपीटेडली आप ये बात करते हो कि कश्मीर भारत का अभिन्न अंग है, कश्मीर इज द इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया। लेकिन आज भी अगर हम बात करें